Hello, my name's Barbara Gray from Claritystamp here in the UK, and welcome to YouTube Tuesday. Well, today I thought I'd get the new fresh cut dies out that we've started designing and introducing into our Clarity library. They're beautiful. Let me show you some of the best that we've come up with so far. This one is called Birds in a Tree, designed by Melanie. If I flip over, just in case you haven't seen our dies before, you'll see that they've got that beautiful Teflon coated livery, our blue Teflon. It's great. So we've got the Birds in a Tree die. You'll see that they're aperture dies. In other words, they don't have an outside cutting edge. This one's called A Little Bird Told Me. Then we've got this one, Bird's Roosting Aperture, absolutely beautiful. So when you look at it like this, you'll see that you can cut it out of any size background, and the yellow is the bit that will fall away, and the grey, if you like, is going to be the paper cut. So that's the Bird's Roosting one. These are 4" by 4" squared. This one is particularly dear to my heart. This one's called the Happy Couple Aperture because this was the design. I illustrated this one. Mel did the other three. I did this one. This was the one I did for our wedding. Dave and I got married earlier on this year. And so actually that's what started up the fresh cut dies. We made this one into this particular die. And that's the one I think I'll use today. Now, as I said, we don't have a cutting edge, therefore we introduce our nested squares. And you'll see again, there are loads. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There are 11 of these, and that means that you control where you want to cut the edge, how big you want the border, whether you want to go right as tight as that. So I'm going to show you a couple of tricks today using the Happy Couple Aperture. Well, now let's see. I've got one here, and I also, it's almost like we had a plan actually. I also want to use a piece of our designer card. I'm going to the Shenandoah collection. We've got 4 altogether. Shenandoah, Rainbow River, Northern Lights and Indian Summer. Beautiful colourways. I designed these myself. And as we go through here, you'll see they're pretty lovely, and some of them have already got landscapes in, which are pretty superb. I think I will go with this one. This is really nice. And I want to show you a trick. So this is cool. See, you can see why I called it Shenandoah. It really looks like stalactites and stalagmites. It's very nice for stamping on also. But today we're going to use it with the dies. So what I want to do is take my die, and I'm going to decide what the background is going to look like, because I'm actually turning things on their head here. And what I'm going to do is actually, there we are. What I'm interested in is the parts that you can see this time. So let's get cutting. That's the way I want it to look when it cuts out. So I know that. But let's do our sandwich. So I use, my mangle of choice is the Gemini from Crafter's Companion. Excellent piece of kit. It works like a treat with these dies. But you can use all your other die machines. You just need a really good mangle, don't you? I'm going to use this particular sandwich. Let me take this out of the way now. We don't need this. I'll use this particular sandwich. So I'm going to use the plate. Then, because we're cutting, I'm going to, my mate Dee, she had a really good idea of using a pocket like this. It protects the cutting plate, which is great. So we'll put that down. Then I'm going to put my card down with my landscape in the background. I can see where I'm going to cut it. I will secure that with a piece of low-tack masking tape. That will hold it in place. I mean, it's not absolutely crucial, but you know, it'd be nice if it was sort of in the right place. And actually, if I use my loaf a bit, I can let's get it equidistant. God, that's a long word, isn't it? For a tired old bird like me, that's a long word. Right, here we go. So I pop that in there like so, and I'll just, actually one piece is good enough. The less, the better. So then I need my frosted one, a bit buckled, but that'll do. So I've got that one. Actually, let's turn it that way round. I have a method. Then I'm going to use the magnetic shim, but that's more really for thickness, right? It's not. I'm not using it as a magnet. Then we're going to pop that in like so, and then this lot is going in my. I'm going to pop this in my machine now. Okay, so this goes in here. See if this works. Now, hopefully, it's not too static, and if it is, it just takes a little bit longer. My trick. It's good though. It's good when it works. It's great when it works. Right. So let's have a look. So we'll get rid of our sandwich. So we've got that out of the way. Gently does it. And we'll take this one. Right. Now I'm going to lift off my masking tape. Can you see that all right, Simon? Cool. Now, let me think for a minute. The best way to do this. I'm going to work on this surface. And I'm going to lift this up like so and turn this over. Hopefully not too much static. The less static, the better. And then I'll just lay that down on my desk like so and turn it round. Right. Now this comes in, this is useful, this thing, because it helps me now just gently. If I miss a couple of bits, it's not the end of the world. I can always pick them up later. There's a couple of little pieces that are sticking. That's okay. Slowly, slowly. There's an eye there, but that's all right. Oh, don't do that. Okay, we've got a few, but I'm going to go with this. And the bits that are missing, I'm going to hang on to them. So I've got that big piece there. Right, don't sweat. And then what we're going to do is lift this off. If we've got a few bits missing, we'll just put them over here. Let's get a bit of black card so I can actually see the bits that I'm losing as well. There you go. And then we'll lift this off, because this is what we're after, actually. This is the die, isn't it? To be honest, normally, let's face it, I'll just do that. Look at that. Beautiful. And I'll just pop that on let's pop it on a piece of black so you can see it. I mean, at the end of the day, that's your paper cut. That is the result. That's what you're after. And we could use, once we've cut it, look, I could put it on black or I can put it on white. Looks delightful too, doesn't it? Doesn't that look great? Okay, so that is what we normally aspire to. That's what we want. Right, but, so I had this idea, okay. If we can keep all the bits inside the die, like so, you'll see I can produce something very beautiful with the scraps, because that's what this is. Ah, don't throw all the bits away, Gray. Okay, so I've got all these little bits. It's not bad. I tell you what, it's all about static. Sometimes it depends. It depends whether I wash my hair in the morning. It depends what top I'm wearing. It's all about lots of different variables. But there are a couple of little bits that I want to add into this mix. So I'm just going to do this for 5 minutes, and I'm not going to bore you. Let me give you a couple of tips when you do this. First of all, what are these bits? Are these my eyesight's not as good as it could be. So you see these bits here? They definitely fit in here somewhere. So if I locate them, like that bit there, if I turn it over, and where have I put it? Right, let me show you this. If I take this, I'll just show you one, and then you can go put the kettle on. Right, if for example, I can use my tweezer, once I've decided where it is, let's have a look. I reckon that one is there. So I can pick up my tweezer like so, yeah? And I can pop it in there like so. So tweezers are good, tweezers are good. And if there's one like the little stray one there, I need to turn it over, because what I should be looking at is white. So I pop that in there. It'll take about 5 minutes to put all these little bits in. So you go and put the kettle on, and I'll just fiddle around and put my little tiny bits in. Go on, don't watch, don't watch. Right, that'll do. Come on in. There's still a few little eyes and details here, and I've also noticed from when I did it earlier, there are a couple of black bits still in here, which I missed, but that's okay. It's an original. I've done that. Now I'll show you the next thing. If I take a piece of double-sided tape and I cut a piece of double-sided tape, I'm not gonna sneeze. I want all those bits. They're still salvageable in a minute. I can still have another run at it. So I'm going to cut this piece of double-sided tape, and it's going to be just a little bit bigger. Yeah, it gives me a little bit of wiggle room. That's it. So I just want to make sure that it's all in nice, all in the right place. And I'm going to take off the one side of the double-sided sheet. So this is sticky, really sticky, and I'm going to just go for it. Let me just see which way round I want this. Okay, are you ready? Right, and I'm just going to go down. Okay, that's it, it's in. Right, and while I do this, what I'm going to do now is take a rubber, and I need to just get in these gaps. That's it. So the thing that I've realised that I haven't got in front of me, what I need to be able to finish this job is a ruler, a craft knife and a glass mat. So Simon, can you do me a favour while I'm doing this? Can you just go and get me a ruler, a glass mat and a craft knife? That would be great. Right, so what I've done is I've pressed in all the way round while Simon went to get the craft knife and the glass mat, the cutting mat, and the ruler with the steel inlay, which I need for the next job. Right, now when I lift this off, what you'll see is on this side, you can see it's embedded, isn't it? Now watch what happens now. As I start to lift this off, you'll see the bits. They transfer. Do you see that? Can you see that okay? And as I gently lift around, all the bits are coming out of the die. It's really easy. If there's a bit stuck in there, you'll see it immediately. Right, except if it's black and you don't see it so well. But you can see now I've got the whole pattern on here like that. Certainly good enough. Now if I want to add, like say for example, that bird's eye is missing. Can you see that? So if I want to, I can find the eye because it's here. I can see it on here. And if I'm really that mad that I can get that eye off there, let's see. I just feel that it'd be good if the birds had their eyes. Do you know what I mean? So if I just pop this, let's just get this. If it pings, then bird with no eye. Eye. Right, there's the eye for the bird. Ah! Right, you ready? So here's a little trick from my mate Paul Church. What I'm going to do, I'm going to take a bit of blue tack at the end of this is just for little tiny bits. And then I'm going to add that to there like so. So it's on the end of there. And then I'm going to move it over to where I want the eye to be. And then fight. There! Look at that. Did you see that? Marvellous. And then we've got another little bird up here. Right, here's the eye again. I wonder if I could I'll lift the eye off here like that without making it ping. Yeah, it did. Right, now the trick is to put it down on here in the right place and then and then lift I knew that was going to... No, it worked. Ta-da! There you go, look. Eye. So you need a tool with a bit of blue tack, and then if you really want to, in fact, I'm in the mood now, I'm going to move the bits between their legs as well, so to speak. So you drink your tea while I do this. Look, 2 at a time. Now she's getting really cocky, so to speak. Okay. And then we'll lift that off. Hey, who says? That'll do. All right, I'm feeling chuffed now. And all the other little bits, you know what? That'll do. Why did I ask Simon kindly to go and get a glass mat? Because now comes the next piece. Now comes the next part of the trick. Just bear with me a minute while I make a space on my little... Do you get like this? I get so, like, in such a mess Oh, but it's all part of being a crafter, isn't it? So I need the ruler with a steel inlay, and I need a craft knife. And what I'm going to do now is just trim back to the edge. So I'll hold it like so. There is a method in my madness, and we're just going to take these bits off. There we go. So we'll just take that off, and now we've got our picture ready. What I want to do is mount it onto a little mount board. Look, a little mount board like this is cool. But I want to show you something. When we take away our backing paper off the double-sided tape, when I lift that off, what you'll see is that it's transparent through the tree, look. So think about this. You could do this with any one of these dies. We could do this with any one of our dies, actually, I'm sure. And this would sit on a tile, on glass, on a mirror, on wood, on a box. I mean, it's countless things that this would actually is applicable to. And what I'm going to do is just set it down. This is 4x4, isn't it? The aperture. These are little 4x4 canvas boards that we also sell. And then what I'm going to do, I'm doing the two-finger trick, top left, bottom right. And then that way, I'm hovering over the canvas and I'm making sure that it's in the centre. There we go. Excuse my head. Then I'll take it down. There we are. So then I'll pop this on there just to make sure that it's all sat properly. What a lovely little piece of artwork, look. However, it's sticky, look. So that's not so good. I have a trick. If we take a piece of copy paper, just take a bit of copy paper just to catch it, and then good old talcum powder, this is great, and then a brush. And what we'll do is we'll just add talcum powder to where everything that's sticky. So we just dust it with talc, like so. Smells lovely too. What a nice gift, eh? So bear in mind, we've made the, not very gentle. What you need is a tissue, which I haven't got, just to wipe the excess powder, and it comes back. But you can't feel this through the telly, but trust me, this is like satin. It's so, so lovely. There we are. So there's our little, see the little birds? There's Dave in the tree, there's Barb. Tea's ready, look. Right, so we take that, and now I've got a choice. I can mount this on the next size up. Let's get rid of this. And now we're going to mount our canvas on the next size up like so. This is going to look so cool. And I cut off, let's take a piece of this. Where's the bit that I cut off? There must have been a piece of scrap. Hang on a minute. Where did I? Well, we'll just have to take another piece. There was a bit that I cut off there, but I have no idea where I've slung it. So we're just going to use another piece. There we go, look. Bit wasteful because I could have used the scrap off the other one. But there we are. Good job it's not live TV, eh? We'll just take this off here. We'll mount this on here. One of the other delightful things is that where I've done it like so, you can actually see the canvas board texture peeping through, which is superb. So what we're going to do now is take our double-sided and we're just going to mount this up. I've got choices as well. If I wanted to, before I do this, if I want to, I could take a Sharpie pen or an ink pad. I quite like this effect, but you could also run a Sharpie pen or an ink pad on the sides to take out the edge. But I think it's quite nice, that earthy look. Choices, choices, choices. And then we're just going to set that down on so, like that. There we are. Pop that on there. And then, stay there, I need a little stand. Right, check it out. So there's my little stand. We sell these as well. They're so cool. They come from Germany. But look at that. Isn't that lovely? What a nice little gift. And don't forget, we've also made the card, haven't we? So we'll pop that over there. Let's have a look. Let's do this quickly. If I take this one, and I can use my ruler as well. Do you remember I put it quite intelligently, sort of, I've only got to cut one side, haven't I, to make it equidistant. There we go. And we're just going to cut that piece off there. And so this then is ready to be mounted, for example, on one of our white card blanks. Doesn't that look super? So what I can do now is I can take my glue runner, here we are, and I'm just going to run my glue runner down here. It's got 2 for the price of 1 here, haven't we, really? Bearing in mind that the little canvas board was actually made using scraps. Hang on a minute. Get a glue runner that hasn't run out. Right, that's better. Okay. So I've got a big enough border to take the glue runner all the way around, which is excellent. Right, like so. And if you want, you can take like a zig glue pen. You know, like it goes on blue and dries. It goes on blue and dries white, which is quite nice. Don't put too much on because then it ends up like a mayo sandwich. You know, when it all comes out, like squishes out the sides. But this is just a way, put some on the little birds and it just will flatten the work well. There we go. So we'll do a couple of those on the leaves if you want to flatten it. Right, that'll go. There we are. We just add a few more down the trunk. I reckon this will look lovely. Finger off. Then we're going to fold out of the score. Let's fold our card first so we know that's right. We'll turn this over. This is going to be lovely. Well, where do we want it to open at the bottom? No, just open on the side. Right, 2-finger trick again, just to make sure that it's level in the middle. That'll work. And we'll take a piece of copy paper to flatten it. This is where you find out whether you use too much zig glue. Steady. Beautiful. So there's our card. And hang on. How about this then? How about a little word? So I wonder if that'll fit. That'll look lovely. There you go. So we can. I've deliberately drew it so it's got room for a little word. Our mini word chains are perfect for this. How about thank you? There we are. Isn't that lovely? So it's got a little gap. You can write a date or a name or love. There we are. So there's your card. And here, I prefer these this way around. These are great, these little stands. Right, this one makes it lean back a little bit. See, so you can slide it back. And then we'll take our canvas that we've made with the scrap. How about that? Does that work? Are we happy? I would say we are. So you get 2 for 1, and all we've used is one little piece of card, that colourful card from the Shenandoah collection. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. I'm so glad it worked. It's well worth trying out. What a great way to use these dies. So thank you very much for joining me. If you are interested in any of the dies and products that we've used, then please go to claritystamp.com. I blog every day, and like and subscribe. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye now.